know that this is about resetting your metabolic hormones. And the program actually split from two people, from two doctors. So one was a hormone doctor called Sarah Gottfried, and the other one was a neurologist / Ayurvedic doctor called Kulri Chowdhury. And so I sort of merged both of their programs. So one's about the gut health and one's about obviously resetting your metabolic hormones. And it's a really cool program. It's really easy, even though it's a little bit more difficult than the one, the Kickstart. Kickstart's the easy program compared to this one. It's a bit more structured. You kind of held hand the whole way through. You're not kind of left to your own devices. So you're made accountable every 3 days, which is really cool. And we've got 7 metabolic hormones which we reset. 1 hormone every 3 days, and then we carry that food over. So it means when it goes, the first one is the estrogen reset, and that's your alcohol and no red meat, and then we carry that over for 21 days. So we carry each one over. You don't just do it for 3 days and then back onto it. It's carry it over. All right. And so really, where does it sit in our little thing? So this is kind of the thing that I have always talked about in all my years of fitness and wellness. And it's this kind of 6 steps to wellness, and we really want to feel amazing, but each thing works together with the other thing. So Train Smart works with sleep, stress, so everything works entwined together. We know that our body is a very complex system, and so it's really important that we treat it as one and look after each aspect of that. If you look at your sheet, you'll see that it is, I've called it a gentle detox. Given that what we do every single day, we're kind of creating, we have too much or too little of everything. So those 6 steps that you saw up there, usually there's too much and too little and not the right balance. So we cause a lot of inflammation in our body day to day with everything that we do, from the foods we eat, from the exercise that we do or don't do, too much or too little sun, and on it goes, sleep, all that. So we cause a lot of inflammation. And by doing this resetting of the hormones, we can trigger and reset some of that by the food that we eat. So we're going to do that in this program. So obviously the old ways don't work, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Is that yours, Ruth, down there, darling? So it is important to understand that even if you get one thing from this program, and it's about waking up and feeling amazing, and that first week you don't feel amazing because you're getting rid of the rubbish out of your body. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually look at all the things that we've got up here. Think of your body as your temple, your house, and basically we're going to reset and look after each one of those platforms, and then we're going to add some lifestyle stuff in with that Ayurvedic stuff as well. All right, so that's kind of what we're going to do. He's right, she's right. And then, so what's really important, as you know, most of you that know me really well, whatever I talk about, it's always about the gut. And I'm having a hot sweat, sorry. Oof. Sorry. That's my hormones. Here we go. That's a hot drink. All right, here we go. So we talk about the gut, and most people, to get a strong, so we talk about, not what we eat so much, but what we digest is really key. And so having a strong digestion, so a strong gut health, it has an interaction with every single process in our body. So we're going to get a strong digestion, and your gut will need, the bottom one just down there, is all of those things, and we're going to get all of that going in the program. So a lot of the stuff that you'll hear today, you're like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. But remember I said you want to hold your hand every way. So every day there's going to be an email about maybe, are you body brushing it, and or are you? And we're going to do this for the next 3 days. So literally you just have to take each step, one foot in front of the other, and off you go. So, plate model. Now, if you've done my nutrition seminar, you'll know you would have seen this before. And this is taken from Joanna McMillan, a doctor of nutrition. And she talks about this plate model. Now, regardless of whether you're paleo, keto, plant-based mover, whatever that looks like, you still need to eat this plate model because each piece of the pie is a macronutrient. So you've got carbs, fats, and proteins. And basically, 1 and 2 and 4 are your protein, and 4 is your fats. 1 and 3 are your carbs. All right, so you've got plants that are non-starchy, and they used to be called The number 3 is your smart carbs or starchy carbs. All right, they're the things that kind of fill you up a bit, like beans, legumes, and all that kind of stuff. You see the little thing there. If you eat like this, then your body will decrease inflammation, and even if you just ate like this, you know, Monday to Friday on a regular basis post this program, your body will maintain what you've got. So it's not what you do sometimes, it's what you do all the time that counts. And each piece of the pie gives you micronutrients. So minerals and vitamins that is necessary for your body to function well. All right, so liver, we're going to look after your liver. There's over 500 functions with your liver. Everything you do, when it goes in, it hits your liver first. Your liver has to decide, in or out. Yes, no. So I'm going to look after the body. All right, so we're going to do some of those things as well. It's a lot of information. You don't have to read all of that. All right, it's a lot. And then this is the hormones that we're going to reset. So the first one, as I mentioned before, was the estrogen reset, and then you've got insulin, no sugar, leptin, no fruit, cortisol is your caffeine, and your thyroid is your grains, your growth hormone is your dairy, and your testosterone are all the toxins, the toxic load we put on our body, from the air we breathe to the water we drink and all that stuff, and stuff we put on our skin. All right. So the one that's probably the hardest there for most people, taking away the alcohol component, because once you get past the first few days, you get past it. Yeah, most people think that's going to be the hardest one. The sugar is definitely hard because sugar is in absolutely everything. And if you read Kuri Chowdhury's book, the Ayurvedic doctor, she talks about this, the survival of the fittest between good and bad bacteria, and the fact that your bad bacteria, then you feed it with sugar, populates, and it sends subliminal messages to your brain to tell you to eat more sugar. So we can have the strongest will in the world, but it becomes really tough, right? So we're going to get rid of the sugar, and then the caffeine. Well, yeah, that's a big one. So giving it a go is key. Hi, lovely. Dave, do you mind getting another ball or chair for me? Yeah. There you go. We'll get you one in a jiffy. It's just going to help you out. And so I'll just give you some notes as well. Do you mind passing some notes? There you go. Thank you, darling. Thanks.
Sorry.
That's all right. You're up. And so the caffeine is, I think, probably the hardest for every single person I've met. If you're not like, I don't drink coffee, and I have green tea. So giving up caffeine for me is relatively easy. Right. The fruit, interestingly for me, fruit and grains are the two hard ones for me. And I'll explain about the thyroid, which is the grain one, in a little bit, all right? So those ones is what we reset. And so Sarah Gottfried talks about the 3 Amigos. There's three of those 7 hormones that we looked at before, so work really well. So if you want to bounce out of bed and feel absolutely like $1,000,000, then you need to get those 3 hormones set. So they are working correctly. So if you want to feel on top of the world and your body to work really well, so the only difference there is that women need their estrogen to be reset, which is a given, right? And then men, their testosterone. Yeah, doesn't mean big muscles and more sex. It means that you want those hormones to be working well together. They're called the 3 Amigos. All right. So that's key. And then we're going to talk about some lifestyle stuff. So now you go back to your notes. Some lifestyle things. So in the Dropbox is where I've put all the information, and each sheet has days 1 to 3. There's the science behind that, and then there's a little sample menu in that Dropbox if you want to follow that sample menu. If you only take out, for instance, like the first 3 days, so it's an easy way because you can just take out red meat and no alcohol, and then just eat your normal diet. All right. If you think, oh my God, I can't make too many changes, and you just want to follow your own diet, just take out the foods as we go, all right? Then that's an easy way to do it. And where did I go with that? And then you can just take the next one out, and then you keep eating your same food. And then, so you'll get to the point where you say, well, what's left? Like, but there's a lot. So that plate model, you can still eat that plate model, even at the very end of the detox program. So it's not, you're not going without food, you're not counting calories, it's not one way, keto, paleo, If you're a vegetarian, this program still suits you. So you can still do this, right? All you're doing is decreasing the inflammation in your body and resetting your metabolic hormones. And with that, you'll find that your gut health will improve, your liver improves, your waist gets very much a lot smaller, okay? Because it's the big thing. A lot of people carry a lot of inflammation around their waist. I did a measurement on a lady yesterday, and we've been doing the program like 1-to-1 for the last 4 weeks, and she lost 22 centimetres in total.
Wow.
I think you were here when I was doing that little thing. So it is, and she was blown away. She was like, woohoo, you know, but she's got a bit of a way to go, but it's a stepping stone, all right? So one thing is that I work on as well, you don't have to do this, but this is part of the lifestyle thing. If you wanted to do fasting accelerates your results. But I'm not suggesting that you do it. You might delay breakfast by 1 to 2 hours. That is still fasting. You're still breaking your fast. Ta-ta.
I'm just going to go and get the KFC, right? So what you want?
Last meal.
Can you send me a text about what you want me to do?
Yeah. We wake up.
So then, so fasting, so I do the 16/8 called time restricted eating. I do it every single day. I just push my breakfast out. And so you start with 15, 30 minutes and you just push it out until you get to a point where, okay, that's good for me. So men can start having breakfast 10 or 11 o'clock, women are a bit later, but if you can't make it to that point, have your tea, have your bone broth, whatever it is you're gonna have, and then decide that way. You don't have to do the fasting part, but you will get better results, okay?
Does tea count as breaking fast?
Technically, yes, if you have milk in it, but you know what? If you had that, no.
Can you just
So-
skip breakfast?
But bone broth doesn't
It does
break a fast.
break your fast because it increases. It has a metabolic effect on your, a thermogenic effect on your body. So yes, but I still do that, but I would probably have. So I'll have my CCFT early, and then I'll probably have maybe my bone broth about 10 or 11, and then I eat lunchtime. But that's breakfast for me. So I still eat 12, 4 and 8. So I'm still eating 3 meals. I still eat the same as the plate model, but there's a lot of reasons on your sheet you can see, just under here, there's a lot of reasons why it's so good to fast. But you don't need to fast, alright? So
you can do this without the fast bit?
Absolutely. If for you, so a lot of people do this because they really don't feel 100%, and they don't feel brilliant all the time, and they want to bounce out of bed, they want their bodies to work well, no aches and pains, and they want to feel like, and they want to, I mean, ultimately, get lean is the title, want to get leaner, but bottom line, they want to feel amazing, and this program will do that. It's fantastic. It's really good for
Does
that.
collagen break fast?
Yes, it's bone broth.
I mean, I take it in the
Yes.
dissolving.
It's the same. Just it's a fancy name.
Yeah.
I know. It's bovine collagen. Is it marine?
Yeah.
Marine is a fish. Yeah. So yeah. So anything like, you know, even though it's broken down to a tiny amount, it's still doing
Yeah.
that. But you know, if you did that, it's still better than actually eating a
pie.
whole pie and actually having your gut having to break that down. So when you have fluids, your gut's not breaking that down. The transition time is pretty fast through the gut. Okay, so what the program entails is half a kilo of veggies every day. So there's a lot of vegetation. So that plate model, that's half a kilo of veggies a day. That's a lot, 3 times a day. So
Oh, sorry.
he's
She
barking
doesn't like veggies.
He's barking at Dave on his bike with the helmet. So half a kilo of veggies. So remember, all the fibre in those vegetables goes through your gut, picks up all the old cells, old blood, old hormones, and eliminates through your colon. It's really important for how much vegetables you eat. Prime tea, so you've had some of that CCF2, not the red one, that's not prime tea. So cumin, coriander, fennel. If you've got those seeds in your pantry, you just need to mix up the same amount, 1-to-1 ratio, and you just put a teaspoon in a pot and drink it through the day. It's very good for digestion. So it's an Ayurvedic number. Bone broth, obviously, like you talked about, is you have collagen. Is everyone should be having collagen every day to increase your the turnover of your cells in your gut lining. They switch over every 3 days, and so they need help. Especially when you get a bit older, you need all the help you can get, and obviously it repairs tissue and stuff like that. So it's really important. Definitely collagen, so or bone broth. Purified water. This is important. Purified water is not tap water. Okay, so tap water is touted to be having those neurotoxins, so chlorine and fluoride are bad for the brain. So we want to reduce inflammation. Who has a water filter? So if you don't want to spend money on a water filter, go to Coles or Woolies and get one of those little Brita jugs. Then that way you're eliminating some of the inflammation you're putting into your body. It's just another thing taking it out, right? Triphala. So these come with the program, and they are these are herbs, Ayurvedic herbs, and they are Triphala and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a de-stress hormone, really good for sleep and making you feel less anxious, especially when you're taking out foods like caffeine, things that you don't want to take out. And the Triphala is for your digestion. So they're organic herbs, they're Ayurvedic, they're from a tree, so it's pretty healthy. But they are nasty.
What do you eat?
Yeah, you put them in water, so a little cup, you steep it in boiling water, so like steeping tea, so you let it set for a few minutes, and then it becomes less bitter. But the first few times that you take it is very bitter, and you're like, ooh. So don't try and put a big cup, put it in a really small one and just slug it back. Yeah,
Okay,
just
sure.
pop it in, yeah, don't try and like delay the pain. All right, skin brushing. Skin brushing is another Ayurvedic term. So we have, we've got lymph nodes, and we want to be able to get rid of that through our skin. So our skin is our biggest organ. We want to get rid of as many toxins in our body as possible. And so when we skin brush, it's really easy. You don't even have to have a brush. Some people like scrub away. You don't need to scrub away. You just need to literally gently stroke the skin. I remember having an lymphatic massage once, and I'm like, that's not going to do it for me. She's like tickling me. I'm like, really? And she's like, no, this is the lymph system just under the skin. So you're gently stroking the skin, little massage, and then up, and that will eliminate from there. Same with the legs, and then lymph nodes and out. So remember, and if you have a bath, anyone have a bath?
Yeah.
If you've got a bath and you're really, I know people don't like, unless you're a pub, don't like lying in your own dirty water, but I'm fine with that. So have a bath, and again, it's try and put some magnesium salts in it, so you're improving the magnesium. One of those, most Australians are, up to 78% of Australians are magnesium deficient. But taking a magnesium tablet is not always bioavailable through your gut. So you can be hit and miss with that as well, depending on the type of magnesium you take. And also it can also make you go to the toilet quite a lot if you're not used to it. So start slow with magnesium, or have a hot bath with magnesium in it. Other one, early to bed. Who's in bed by 9:30, 10? You get up early and do the sessions early though. You do early sessions, don't you? So you don't have to get up early, you can go probably bed a little bit later. But between 10 and 2 is where your body goes into stage 4 sleep for longer, and that's where repair and detox happens. So if you close that window, there's less repair, less weight loss. Weight loss is now in that window as well. So if you're not going to bed, if you're going to bed late, you might want to change that up if you want to. Epsom salts, like I talked about, moving every day. So even if you are a Pilates person, walking or doing that, so you're still going to move every single day, yeah? Fibre, so this is really key. So not only the fibre from your vegetables, but soluble fibre. So psyllium or flax, a teaspoon in some water. Make sure you take it with water, and that way that's going to really clean you out. Who owns a poop stool? I love asking that question. You're like, yeah, it's okay. You don't have to admit if you've got a poop stool, but if you don't have one, it'll be good to get one, because the minute your knees are higher than your hips, then your anal rectal angle opens, and you'll eliminate everything from your colon. when you sit in a normal toilet seat, you don't eliminate everything from your colon, and those toxins stay in your body. So that is really important. So pop off to Bunnings, or use a couple of toilet rolls to pop your toes up. Everyone you want. What do you use?
The kids step.
Yes, that's it. See, the kid step. One of those.
For the fiber, like, is Benefiber good, or is there others that are better, or like fiber supplements?
Yeah, I wouldn't take Metamucil or any of those ones that have been commercialised. Just take flaxseed or psyllium husk. It is so cheap, and it works a treat.
Okay.
Yeah, we want you to be moving everything out of your body, because you're going to be, you're detoxing. So you want to be helping your body as much as possible. So everything on this list that you see, from the veggies right through to the bottom one, the tongue scraping, that is all eliminating toxins from your body. That's the ways we're going to do it ayurvedically. I know it's a lot going on. Ooh. All right, so lifestyle thing, we talked about that. Getting into, so we know that the sun exposure, so getting enough vitamin D. We know that we actually absorb more magnesium when we get vitamin D. So it's really key, right? So all things work together. So if you do plan to do this program, if you think this is right up your alley and you're going to do it, there are some things you're going to do, and it's going into the make sure you prep yourself, go to your cupboard, get rid of everything you know you can't. If you know you're going to take it nice and slow, then you can take things away that is too tempting, that you know you lock them in a cupboard or throw them in the bin. And don't take them back out of the bin and put them back in the cupboard. My husband gets stressed out. He goes, "Oh, that's cost so much money." I said, "It's better in there than it is anywhere else." But anyway, you do what you need to do. So clean your cupboards out. I shop in so many stores, it's not even funny. So I do all my bulk buying, seeds, nuts, everything from honest to goodness. I bulk buy from there, and they're really good. They do a free delivery, I think, once a week if you live on the northern beaches. And I go to Harris Farm, I go to Harbour Growers, I'll do lots of online shopping, because I'm busy. And I recently got a new Thermomix, which actually, if I choose my recipes and then flick the ingredients to Woolies, they deliver. So I had to mention that. So exciting! But it really tickled my fancy when I did that. I had the old one, and I couldn't help myself. I had to upgrade just to get the shopping thing done. As you do.
Are they like 20 grand or something?
No, not 20 and two. But you don't have to have one. But it's good when you don't want to do all those extra things, because I work a lot, so it does help. All right, and then there's so much information that comes on the closed Facebook group. So it's a small group. I post every day, once or twice. You can ask lots of questions on there. The Dropbox has so much information on it, much more than what you got in that little email that you got received from the Science Behind. And then basically, what else is there? This is what I do every day. So whenever I pop off to work, I think my Fusion Peaks will say that I'm always carrying my drinks in. I've got my thermos, I've got my all my water packed ready to go, I've got my lunch organised. So everything, I'm already organised, so it makes it really easy for me. I don't have to think about it. And then if there's lots of changes, so if you think about what your daily routine is, start with one thing that you can add in that you know is going to be good for you, and then you add another thing in when you get good at that. You just take small steps. So this has taken me, years to perfect. It wasn't like I'm perfect. I've spent a long time trying to get to this point, and I do lots of education around making myself healthy, because I want to live a long time, as you do. And put this Deliveroo out there. Who ordered Deliveroo? Anyone? Sure, Kentucky. Yeah, that's right, every day. So there's, that's my daily routine. What I recommend that you do is you write your own routine, pop it on the fridge, and then you've got something it's like that affirmation of, okay, that's where I'm going, or stick it on your bathroom mirror or something like that. If that's floats your boat, you don't have to do it like that way. But it's good to have your own daily routine.
Does some lemon water break fast?
It's a bit like the tea. So yes, a little bit. The thermogenic response is so minimal compared to like bone broth, a bit chunkier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same as having apple cider vinegar in water. Yeah.
Do you do your tongue scraping at night?
I do. You can do it either or. You can do it either or, and some people are one way or the other. But I tend to be, I mean, I don't even brush my hair in the morning, like let alone doing another thing. Let me tell you, I leave the house and my hair's sticking out. My husband's like, geez, honey, just do something with your hair. I'm like, no, you haven't got time to do that. So I do it at
Okay,
night
so
time.
there's no benefit to doing it one way or the other.
No, well, there's always camps, right? They say do it both ends of the day. Some people say don't do it more than once a day because then you're scraping off all the good bacteria as well. Because when you're scraping off good and bad bacteria. So I just do it the once, and wherever it's best for you. I'm a flosser, a scraper, you name it, a skin brusher. I lie in the bath, lavender on the pillow, mate, you name it, I've got it all going on. Sorry?
Lavender oil makes sense.
Yeah. So any questions on that, guys?
Yeah, if you're removing dairy,
Yes.
is there any limitation on type of nut milk, or is any nut milk?
Anything. Because you can remember on the piece of the pie where it said you can have nuts and seeds in the good fat, so it doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is that if you're going to have, so one of the drinks, I did bring this to make you some, but I didn't get around to that. So one of the drinks I have, because I'm menopausal, so I have to have one of the things is, and I really don't like it very much, but I use organic because it's not genetically modified, because all soy is genetically modified. So I buy organics, it's not genetically modified, and yes, it's in a packet, but it's probably the one thing in the week that I have that's in the packet. Do you know what I mean? And then I have turmeric, curcumin, because I'm really into that, and that helps. And then I also use not magic mushrooms, but there's mushroom in there as well. That's one drink, and that does include all the other drinks I have as well. So yes, I'll do that. So as long as you're having, it doesn't matter what milk it is, basically. But dairy goes, definitely.
So to prepare for it, is there some guide, some shopping guide?
So on the 2 pages we currently have, on the Dropbox there is a document that's 31 pages long, and there's a shopping list on there. But I would recommend, if you're going to do it, is each day says 1 to 3. I'll just pull it up actually. Let me just escape out here and I'll show you what it looks like. And then you can see. So this is the Get Lean Dropbox. I'll bring it over so you can see it a little bit. Oh, actually you can put it up there. Here you go. Put it up there. So once I open it, so this is days 1 to 3.
So you'll email this to us or give us access to
Yes,
it?
you'll have access. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Why can I open it? Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
So see, this is day 1 to 3. It says blah 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 blah. This is what you do. This is the food list that you can choose from. So for that 3 days, just eat off the food list. It makes it really easy for you, right? So it's not you don't have to think of the whole 21 days, and then you get a video from me every 3 days. This is what you're gonna do next. This is what I recommend. Blah 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 blah. And then down the very bottom, you have got sample menu. If you want to follow that, but you don't have to follow that. Like I said before, if you wanted to take out the foods the first 3 days, for instance, no alcohol, no red meat, and you ate your normal food eating because that's what you can handle, then you do that for 3 days. And then the next 3 days you carry that over, and then you're going to take out no sugar.
So it's just red meat, not.
So as long as you stick to the foods that are listed there, then you're following that part of the
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I mean, if your diet is so far away from that plate model, that I showed you, then you just take the easy option first, because you're just resetting that hormone, all right? And then eventually, when you go back to your normal eating, then there'll be some things that you think, this is what I like to eat now, and what will I take away, and what can I use moving forward? Yeah? Because there are some things you won't go back to. Some things you will, some things you think, I feel really good without that, I didn't realise. It's such a powerful feeling in your body you get when you know that you feel much better without that food. And it's different for everyone. I can't pick a food because everyone's genetics is different.
So this is 21 days.
21 days of eliminating foods, and then a week of putting foods back in. And it's no order. So whatever, like for me, the first thing that goes back in is fruit, because I'm like hanging to put the fruit back in. But
All fruit.
except for lemon and limes. So by day 6, or day 7, sorry, it's no fruit. So you go 2 weeks without fruit.
And the energy levels and stuff like that, does it become?
You're absolutely fine. You won't waste away, I promise. But you're by day 5 or 6 though, when your body is coming off of sugar and alcohol, which is basically sugar, you are starting to detox if you eat those things on a regular basis.
So that's no breads, is it?
When we get to the thyroid, oh, it's not there. The thyroid is, I think, the 6th reset, so no bread. But I tell you what I eat, and I go. There's a few places. So at Harris Farm, there's a sunflower, sprouted sunflower loaf. It's $15. It's not cheap, but you only need a couple of small thin slices, and it lasts a couple of weeks, right? You slice it up, put it in your freezer, and you just toast it, and you don't miss bread once you know you've got something to replace it. The other thing the other place I go to, and I've got a new place, and one of them actually just opened one up called Staples. Their gluten-free bread, it's made with oats, but it's amazing. It is better than, I like both actually, but yeah, it's probably half the
Bread
price.
is out, but gluten-free bread is in.
Well, okay. So sometimes you buy gluten-free products and they're full of rubbish. Whereas the one at Harris Farm is not, it's sunflower seeds, been sprouted, and that's it. Right, and then the one at Staples, there's nothing in it. So you want to buy things that don't have lots of preservatives and additives, because we're trying to eliminate toxins from our body. The testosterone, so the last reset, so washing powder, washing up liquid, stuff that you spray around the house or whatever you do, anything that you can put on your skin, makeup, like luckily it falls on a Friday, no makeup. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all good. Not going out razzing and dazzling anyway because you're not drinking, so you're all good. And yeah, so it's all fabulous.
Just scare people.
And so, but by that stage, your skin is looking so radiant and clean and clear, you will be blown away. Like people will say to me, "I don't need makeup; it's just amazing." My daughter says, "I've got pimples." I'm like, "Well, stop putting sugar in, love." Because like, okay. She's 20, Anyway.
Can you use stevia?
The plant version,
Yeah.
so not the white processed version.
Right.
So yeah, definitely if it's plant. I've got green version of it. But you don't, once you come off sugar, you'll be surprised when you come off, because your body, then your taste buds return. And food, believe it or not, vegetables actually taste quite good.
Is this additional refined sugar, or is this so natural sugar, say now, kombucha?
So yeah, so you can have a shot of kombucha.
Shot.
Yeah, like a small amount, like not a whole glass shot, because it's fermented and it's good for your gut health.
So there's a challenge starting on Monday for 2 weeks. Would you not advise doing both at the same
Oh,
time?
no, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I'll be right there with you. I'll be
Okay.
doing
Are
this
you doing
right
the
there
same?
with you,
Okay.
every step of the way.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's not less energy, is it? It's
no,
just-
no. I mean, I've got enough fat stored on my body to run a marathon. As long as I'm hydrated, I'm good to go. Don't know if I could run a marathon. Another story altogether. Yeah, so you have enough, and actually it's better for your genetic expression to be, as I said, faster. You don't need to eat, you should never exercise with food in your tummy anyway. And you have plenty of body fat stored in your body to call on. It's the detoxing symptoms that will make you feel a bit rubbish, not the energy stored in your body.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Paula,
Mm.
so I don't particularly want to lose weight.
No.
So I can't see how you can avoid losing weight with this.
Well, not necessarily. So, as long as you are exercising the right way, you're not decreasing calories. You're just decreasing inflammation. So if you've got inflammation in your body, and you can be a skinny person, but you've got lots of visceral fat, for instance, and this program will help you delete or, rid yourself of that inflammatory thing going on in your body. So if you've got sore joints, if you're, you know, your skin's not good, or whatever complaint you've got going on, this detox will fix that. You're just resetting your body. But if it's, you know, like if you're worried about losing weight, you just eat a bit more of the foods that you're meant to eat. You won't lose weight. You'll maintain. You'll notice what happens with a lot of people with their waist. A lot of people have a lot of inflammation around their waist, and that is the biggest number. It blows me away how much people lose weight off their tummy. Like Tony, he's just finished he did it for 8 weeks, and he just lost 10 centimeters of his waist, and he's a really skinny guy, but he said, I just have this podged tummy, I couldn't get rid of it, and it's gone. But you did lose, when you lose weight though, if you lose, you know, muscle, you're going to lose fat and bone and everything, you know, water. You don't just lose one thing, you don't just lose fat, you lose a bit of everything.
Do you advise that we do the biomeasurements?
Yeah, you have to do a bioscan, body measurements, and so you can see where your levels are at, and then from there you know, keep going.
This starts on Monday, doesn't it? So
Monday,
can we come?
So you can, as long as you do the
Is
bioscan.
Monday? Or?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah,
So-
so coming on Sunday.
I thought it was Monday week.
That was, I think, maybe on Tuesday, when we talked about it after the class, I would have said it starts Monday, but maybe a week.
Thursday.
So do we just book in with you to do measurements? And, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you do this a few times over the year?
We're doing it twice this year. We normally do it 3 times, but we did the kickstart, and then everyone was still trying to get back to work. It was a bit of a, you know, all over the spot with, you know, being a bit of a weird year. So we'll do it 2 times this year. Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't do it this time, you can do it next time. If you're worried about Mum's Day.
On the safety sheet, it's got doing 2 days of either 500 or 600 calories.
Okay, that's
Is
it.
is that also on a day that you might be, say, coming here and doing class? And if you've done the class and, say, burnt off 600 calories, would you be eating an additional 600 to make up that deficit? Would you only eat strictly 600,
Well, that's
regardless of whether you train or you didn't train?
Yeah, absolutely. You have enough stored in your body, I promise you. People think they're going to starve.
I think that plenty.
You're sort of saying that though after you've done it for 2
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah. So when you're saying somebody's been doing it for 10 weeks, what's he doing? That guy that you mentioned.
He did it for 8 weeks. So he did exactly the same thing, but 2 times over. I would say most of the time I eat like this.
So do we book in?
Yes, so you need to do, so for you guys that come to 38X, you'll jump on the bioscan, do that first. With the Fusion Peaks, we'd have to set up a time to come over and do that, and then take some body measurements. In that first few days you start.
Okay, so like Monday or Tuesday or something.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can book it with
And
him.
I'm not here Monday,
Okay.
but I'm around on the weekend. I'm working, so I can pop in and
Okay.
do it. Yeah.
Cool.
Quick question on collagen.
Yes.
My level of histamine is off the roof, so
Yeah, so
bone
you just-
growth is probably not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So I'm
You don't
skipping
need to
that.
have it. You don't need to have it yet. So if you have that histamine response, absolutely not. Yeah. But there's very few people don't have it. So yeah. Generally speaking, across the
Yeah.
And with the bone broth, is there like a mixture, or would that be in the information of like where do you recommend certain
So
ones?
there's so many places you can buy it from. Ruby Lane, they pre-make it. It's amazing at Ruby Lane.
Okay.
Harris Farm have it in the jars. You can buy it already made, ready to go. You can make it yourself. I pop a video on that I'm making it and showing you how to make it yourself.
Yeah.
We sell the dehydrated stuff, which you can put in green smoothies. I've just ordered some plant-based collagen, so no animal in it. So it's a new product. So for some people who are they were having the marine collagen, but it is quite fishy. Do you find it quite fishy, the marine?
It was by lemon.
Really? I'm like, I had it. My daughter's like, I need some collagen. And it's super expensive as well. I'm like, oh no, I can't have that.
What's the best form to take it in? Tablets or powder?
However you can get it in, really.
And what kind?
It's better to have it as naturally as possible, right? So you can have it like the dehydrated stuff. They just they have these big vats and they dehydrate and then it grind it down. But in liquid form is great. But if you're not really a collagen, like a bone broth person, it can be quite like my husband gags. I'm not allowed to make bone broth at home. Makes them dry rich. I had the slow cooker outside in the garden. No, you can still smell it. Had it in the garage. No, can't have that. No. That's why we got the dehydrated stuff because I had to convert over.
So you just add that to like a smoothie or something, and that's sufficient for your.
I put it in
your
his
supplement.
smoothie. He has no idea.
It's like your child.
In he goes. Where's my green smoothie? I'm putting everything in, like everything possible. Any more questions? It's a lot of information, but if it's not the right timing, it's not the right timing. Yeah, but it's never the right timing.
If you're having like medication and stuff, but that
Keep taking your medication.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't stop your medication.
If you still have multivitamin.
Yes. You don't need it. If you eat that plate model, you don't need it. Unless you're deficient in something, then I wouldn't bother taking it.
Have it.
Yeah. Make something else and you have it. You don't need to take it.
So like if I take magnesium supplement, should I continue?
I would definitely take magnesium. Is yours a multivitamin, did you say? Yeah. Did it have magnesium in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
do vitamins like magnesium break fast as well? Like
No,
those are 1.4 bed.
you'll be alright with that.
Okay.
Have it before bed. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, better before you go to bed because you sleep better.
Yeah.
That's why I have a magnesium bath at night because I sleep better.
Do you use the liquid like this and skin?
You can do that. You can do it on the you can take it that way topically.
And then what about the probiotics? Can you still take those as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you need all the help you can get, right?
Yeah.
Without having to go and spend a fortune on, if you've already got it there, then keep taking it.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt unless it's it's got additives and preservatives and things like that in it. That's the load you want to decrease. You can decrease that toxic load in your body.
So if we want to sign up, do we pay here?
Yep.
Yep, we pay
Yep.
here. And as soon as we pay, I'm guessing we have access to all this
Yes.
stuff so we can plan our.
And the other thing, sorry, I forgot to mention, and I should have written it up actually. So the closed Facebook page, which is where we'll be in contact every single day, is it's called 38X Fusion Get Lean. What month is it? May 2021. That's closed Facebook page.
Do you do one each month?
So whenever I do it, I do a separate one. So then we start all over again. Yeah. So that's if you want to write that down. If you want to join that group, because that's where all of your information is going to go. I will, if you do decide you want to do the program, I will invite you into the Dropbox, which is all that information. So this stuff, all this stuff here. So all of these documents. There's some really great documents on here. So there is this one here actually is an interesting one. The food's high in essential nutrients. So you can print that off, and then over a course of a week you can tick all the foods on that, and you can see whether you're having enough minerals and vitamins from your food. It's a really cool document because it shows you all the foods covered, all the vitamins. And then there's a gut IQ test here. So to see the state of your gut, some people don't think they've got any gut issues at all, but you can do that little test and see, do it at the beginning and do it at the end. So all that information is there.
Do you do you recommend the things like colonics and stuff like that? Like
I wouldn't add another thing too. Like if your body's detoxing and you want to exercise, right? So that's a fair amount going on in your body already. I wouldn't add too many more things to it. I don't think it will harm it, to be honest. I am in favour of colonics, but not regularly. Every now and again will be alright. I'm very silent.
Talk economics, did it?
So essentially, I've just sort of come in a little bit late, sorry.
Yeah.
So I everything I need to know is.
in that.
is
Everything you need to know is right in here.
I just said
And you don't need to,
sound
yeah, and you just don't,
easy.
yeah, and you don't need to try and think too far ahead. Think only 3 days, and then I'll send you a video day before the next 3 days, what we're going to do next. And you go, all right, I'm going to get organised for those 3 days. You'll come to your days, 4 to 6, whatever it is. You see what you need to purchase, what foods are recommended, and away you go.
And if we have a silly question, we can always ask, right?
You ask,
So-
no question is silly, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a little baby program. So all the stuff you need to know is right here, and this document. So this one here. So this one has the whole thing in a nutshell. So here, so it's got I don't know why it's doing that. So everything you need to know, all the questions, all the stuff, everything's in here. Like everything. Really, it's like I think it's easy because I've been doing it for so many years, but actually,
It's your life.
but that's it. So that document has absolutely everything in there.
And you have to do it as part of a group. You can't do it, like if I don't do it now, it's part of the group. Could I do it
You could-
myself
Yes,
with you later on or
absolutely.
something
Yeah,
like that?
you could do that.
Okay.
It's just that you don't get. The thing is,
You don't get the
you don't get the support.
support.
And then you're not getting, because it takes a lot of, it's very time intensive to do the Facebook group. So I do it as a group, I don't do it as an individual.
Right.
And then so people who do it, like Tony who did it, he would see me once a week. So he would pay a fee to me every single week to have that lifestyle, right? So I'm talking through his whole lifestyle list. It is life coaching, that's more life coaching as well, so getting people through that process. This is a group, it's a much cheaper way to do it, but there is that option, definitely. Yeah. Alright,
So did I miss the cost of it?
so it is $159, the program fee. Actually, it is on the, I think if you pay before, always have an early bird. If you pay before, it's not on here. It says only 38 X's, but of course that means fusion people as well. These are the old brochures. But we normally, if you pay before Monday, it's $129, and that includes the herbs as well.
And we do that here or just
Yeah.
online?
Yeah.
Do you have to be part of 38X or Fusion?
No, for non-members,
Just for Spark?
$2.99,
$2.99.
but that includes training here,
Okay. For the whole.
month.
Okay.
So that's the training as well as that. But if they just want to do the bioscan and no training, then we could probably work out something that would be just that. So if they don't want to do the training, they could probably just pay the.
You've already got most of those.
You'll be right. Yeah.
We've got, the three of us have got a lovely dinner at Saki on the
Now.
15th. On the 15th. So we're just looking at each other like,
But as I said to Linda and Anna when she came in, and Mother's Day, so what if you break it for one day, it's not going to break the bank. You know what I mean? So remember, and if you got back on the horse the next day, so it's not going to cause inflammation and weight gain just for that one time. If you did it every other day, then that's a different story. Yeah.
I feel guilty. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Okay, good.
and then celebrate at the end.
Yeah,
You celebrate. There you go.
Yeah.